Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Welcome to Calm the Beast Show, the show where I help you push through the anxiety, the doubt, the negative thoughts in your head, which are the number one thing keeping you from having the happiness and success that you want in life. Yesterday, I talked a lot about how to get yourself to take action when you don't want to. And the ability to get yourself to take action is a number one anxiety buster. Because what is anxiety? Anxiety is when the negative thoughts, the doubt, the fear keep you from taking action. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you living a life that you don't want to live. So the ability to get yourself to take action is key to having the happiness and success and the fulfillment you want in your life. And yesterday we talked about the countdown sequence, the gladiator ready, contender ready, 3, 2, 1, go, to launch yourself into action. And today I want to talk about another technique I use that I just used recently. I used it last week when I was stuck, when I couldn't get myself to take action, when it got so bad that I actually had a rash. Yeah, Nitro had so much anxiety that he actually had a rash. Hold on, I want to get Instagram working here for a second. So just, there we go. The Instagram is on. So good morning, Instagram. Just to recap for what I've been talking about on Facebook is I want to talk about today is how you get yourself to take action when you don't want to, and how it's the key to calming the beast, having the success and happiness you want in your life. So there was something I was putting off for the last 2 years, and this was creating a podcast. Creating a podcast is something I've thought about and I've stressed about and I've had tons of anxiety about. And I'm sure you can relate because I know there's things that you've put off that you want to do. And some of the excuses are, oh, I don't have time. My excuses were, there's so many podcasts out there. What am I going to talk about? Does anybody care? Will anybody listen? These excuses caused tons of anxiety, and I could just not get myself to take action for 2 years. I was stuck for 2 years. And last week, it was so bad when I actually had to sit down and do it that, like I said earlier, I got a rash. Nitro got a rash thinking about talking into a little microphone like this and a little microphone I have down here. I got a rash. I got hives. I couldn't get myself to take action. And that's anxiety in full force. So again, I'm going to go over the definition of anxiety. Anxiety is when your negative thoughts, your doubts, your fear keep you from taking action and getting stuck, right? And the next level of anxiety is when it starts to manifest in your body with symptoms like I had was a rash. Now, let me be clear. I can get myself to take action in a lot of places, right? I can go speak in front of 10,000 people and I'm fine. I can go do business deals and I'm fine. I can get myself to go to the gym 99% of the time and I can get myself to eat great. But for some reason, speaking in that little microphone, oh my gosh, I don't understand. I could do it here today, but speaking to that little microphone was like my kryptonite. I couldn't get myself to do it. And I was doing the launch sequence I shared with you yesterday, gladiator ready, contender ready. And that shit wasn't working. So I had to bring out a new tool. And that new tool is what I'm going to share with you. So the first thing I had to do is I had to go, and I brought a board today. I actually brought a board to show you some of this stuff. The first tool I brought out was aligning myself back with my purpose. So the gram, you can kind of see it right here. Okay. So it was lining myself up with my, with purpose. So that's the first thing I did. I said, okay, my purpose, my mission, my why. Number one, I'm on fire to help people calm the beast. And why am I on fire? Because I know what it feels like to have anxiety. I know what it feels like to be stuck. I know that terrible feeling and those negative thought loops, hey, why can't you do this? What's wrong with you? And I know it doesn't lead to anywhere. And I know how most times to pull myself out of that. And I don't want anybody to ever feel that way because there are tools, there are ways out of it. And I'm on fire to teach you those. And I also wish that someone would have taught me these tools a lot earlier, that I wouldn't have had to spend the last 40 years putting them together. But at least it puts me here sharing these with you. And also, when I hope you calm the beast, when you leave a comment or you send me a message, like so many of you have done lately and said, hey, D, hey, Nitro, this has really helped you. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I have a purpose, I have meaning, and I'm being of value, right? So that also fires me up. And I also know the downside of you not calming your beast. I know if you can see down here, it's a little bit smaller. When you don't calm your beast, it leads to depression. In the worst cases, it leads to suicide. When you don't calm the beast, it causes you to medicate. I know because I used to medicate all the time and just thought it was, I'm just having partying and I'm fun, but it was every night. Right? You start medicating, which leads to addiction. And I could even say that anxiety is the base of all addictions that we have. Sure, there's the mental hooks, but when you start looking at the opioid addiction, you start looking at cocaine addiction, you start looking at decrease in alcoholism. To me, a lot of that is rooted in your inability to deal with this anxiety, this stress, this pressure, this negative voice. You haven't figured out how to calm the beast. And having lost my younger brother this last year to addiction, I know how important it is that you get this right. So first, I put this when I'm stuck, when I can't get myself to take action. I've done the countdown sequence. I've tried micro goals and I know what they are. I go back to my purpose and I put it through my purpose. And after I put it through the purpose filter, I then think, is this aligned with the principles in my life that I'm committed to, right? So my principles are, can you guys see that? Good. My principles are, I'm committed to learning and growth. I am committed to learning and growth. Does this action I'm taking, does this fit into purpose and my principles? So this action of helping you calm the beast, and one of the ways I'm going to do that is through a podcast. Does this fit into my mission and purpose? Yes, it does. I'm committed to learning and growth, so that's something I want to do. But it also goes into my purpose and mission, which is helping you calm the beast, right? So it fits in and it synchronizes with everything I'm trying to do. Then the last part of calming the beast is you have to have a good set of tools in your toolbox. And I've been talking about having these tools, and that's what this show is all about, giving you the tools to succeed, giving you the tools to have happiness, but more than happiness, giving you the tools to have fulfillment. So yesterday we talked about a couple of different tools. And the first tool we talked about yesterday, and this is a bit of a recap. The first, we talked about setting micro goals, right? So a micro goal is, let's say you're just getting in shape, right? And you want to run a marathon. Your micro goal would be just to go outside and jog around the block, right? That's a micro goal. You want to write a book. The micro goal you set for yourself is to write a page a day. You want to start a diet. The micro goal you set for yourself is, you know what? I'm going to clean all the junk and the crap out of my refrigerator. So you set yourself a micro goal. So what I did for myself to set a micro goal to help me record this podcast is, look, I'm just going to sit down and record the opening, right? That's it. Just sit down and record the opening. That's the micro goal. But when you can't get yourself to take action, you have to start to use these other tools. And the other tools are a countdown sequence, which we went over yesterday, to launch yourself into action. And that countdown sequence is something I saw and I noticed that I did for every sporting event, from CrossFit to running track when I was a kid, even to like a pie eating contest, and for every gladiator event. And before every gladiator event, the announcer would say, "Gladiator ready, Contender ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And no matter if I was ready or not, no matter if I had a shoelace, I had gum, or I had my jock down, no matter what happened, when it was time to go, I always went. So if you want to go back and review that video, it's there yesterday. And I want you to watch that and use that, because I've already heard a bunch of feedback that it's helping people. And remember, when I help you, it makes me feel good. So the next tool I want to teach you in the toolbox of how to get yourself to take action is I want to teach you what I call the 5-minute rule. Can you see it right here? I'll get my big fat head out of the way. Oh, I got to write it down. So the next tool is the 5-minute rule. Okay, so what the 5-minute rule is, a lot of times you're looking at something like, oh my God, I got to do this. This is going to be hours. Oh, it's terrible. Even if it fits into your purpose, even if you know it's what you need to do and you can't get yourself to it because you just have this resistance and this about doing it. What I always tell myself is I says, you know what, Dan? 5 minutes. Just spend 5 minutes doing this. And that's a trick, a mental hack that I use to get myself to show up, to get myself to sit down and write, to get myself to start a podcast, to get myself to do sometimes admin work of running a business. I just use that tool. I say, you know what, Dan, just sit down for 5 minutes. And I can tell you 99% of the time when I've sat down for that 5 minutes, I end up staying for an hour, 2 hours, because you get into a thing called flow. And flow is that feeling where the world slips away and you're completely focused and you feel in purpose. And there's been a lot of scientific work done about being a state of flow and how that's the true way to get significant work done, and how we're not letting ourselves get into flow with all these modern day distractions that we have. So again, I'm going to recap for you. When you get stuck, when you can't get yourself to take action, number one, what is your purpose? Why are you doing this, right? And for me, it's to help you calm the beast. The second thing is think about your principles. And my principles aren't so much about numbers, aren't so much about results. Yes, they're important, but I know they will come if I'm following my principles and beliefs. And my principle and belief is I'm committed to growth and I'm committed to learning. And then thirdly, you're only as successful as the tools you have in your toolbox to battle anxiety, to calm the beast, to crush the doubt, the fear, the worry, the negative thoughts, all that stuff that gets you down. And the 3 tools that we went over today, one was setting micro goals. The second one was using a countdown sequence. And again, I went over that in the video. And the third one was try the 5-minute rule. Get yourself to sit down for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and see what happens. And I guarantee you 99% of the time, once you can get yourself to show up, once you can get yourself to sit down for 5 minutes, the work starts to flow and you've calmed the beast. All right, you can find me at Dan Nitro Clark on Facebook, at Dan Nitro Clark on Instagram. You can also send me a message and leave comments, because remember, I'm giving one person, not everybody even wants this, but I'm giving one person who leaves me a message in the comments below, the Nitro action figure right here. Leave me a comment, tell me how these worked, and Nitro, he comes to visit you. I'm going to send him to your house. So again, leave me comments, leave me a message. I'm going to go through them with my team, and we're going to find someone that is using these tools, that they work, and Nitro will come and see you. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow I will reveal the 4th tool that I use on a daily basis that helps me calm the beast. Okay, Nitro out. Instagram, thank you guys for coming. And